first one is really good for a multitude of reasons, and we could sit and break down that movie a bunch of ways because those are my one or two of my favorite movies
ever.
Ever.
Damn.
But the second one, when you see the duality of his father young, him relatively young, but being the Don.
Yeah.
And you see the similarities, and you see how they move and different stuff like that, and how his dad was in the old country before he came to America, how he was in America, and all that stuff. It's just it's so good.
Got to see young De Niro too, which was crazy.
It's so good. That one is really good. There's a lot of really good moments in that one. And the
you
first
broke
one
my heart, Fredo. You broke my heart.
You must have watched that recently, huh?
Literally yesterday.
Oh shit.
Yesterday or the day before.
Okay.
Now there's 3 total.
I've heard the third one is like a drop off. I've heard it's still good though.
So it obviously
it's just incomparable to the first 2.
Same director, same producer, or whatever. But the third one is it's different. It's just different. It to me is unnecessary.
That's what I've seen too.
It's unnecessary.
It's
not a necessary movie. And out of the whole entire time of the movie, the only parts that I would say legitimately is good is the closing sequence, the last 25 minutes. If you want to watch that, I would just say watch the last 25 minutes. Everything else is like it's okay.
Is it another 3-hour movie?
Around there, 2.5 something.
My favorite part of the second one is the end when it shows when they're all sitting around the table because Vito had just came in the house. They were surprising him for his birthday. But Michael had just told them that he wasn't going to college. That he wasn't going to the college that his dad had got him into. He was going to go to the Navy. Mm-hmm. And like the whole, like all the brothers and shit got mad at that nigga. And then the dad walked in. Connie came back in and said he's here. So everybody got up and he stayed in there. And he was just sitting there at the table smoking a cigarette. And you can hear everybody else in the background like surprise. Oh, he's a jolly good fella, like just having the whole celebration, and that nigga's just sitting there at the table just smoking his cigarette. Because he's always, and that to me, that spoke to his character throughout both of the movies, because like for him, it's weird. It was one of those situations where he's the prodigal son, but he's also the black sheep. It's weird. Mm-hmm. Which I don't really see like that in movies. You see either one of the other. Yeah. And he literally is both. And so on one hand, the whole family, he's the outed, but then to Vito, he's the prodigal son.
Yeah.
He's the star child.
Yeah.
And that nigga, that scene, after everything you had watched, and that was it too, like, culmination-wise, everything that just took place in the second one, for it to end like that, and you see everybody, and they go in there, and he's just, even as a teenager, he was like that.
Yeah, the beginning sequences of both movies and the ending sequences of both movies are really good, because the ending sequence of the first one is after he knocks off
nigga, he
everyone,
said today I settle all family business.
Yeah, after he knocks off everyone, and they have like they're showing him at the christening of his sister's son.
Yeah,
as all that's happening, and then they show like you get a really like a flash from who he was when he first came in. The first opening scene of the first movie, slick hair, really tight Marine sort of dude, didn't want nothing to do with his life. And then the way that the first movie ends, he is in the room with Sonny, with Tom, with the other head members, and you see from Kate's perspective the door closing, and you see like his face is kind of shadowed a little bit, and he just looks completely different.
Because he got put through the fucking ring.
And it's like
it wasn't like a peaceful transitioning of power. He got traded. He got that position of power in wartime.
Yeah.
So he had to. There was no easing into it.
Yeah.
Is your mic off?
Oh, I just did that just now.
Oh, okay.
Because I was looking at it.
Yeah.
There was no like. He's the Don now, and like he has time to like work his way around, figure out how to do this shit. No, he had to come in and just instantly get to it, and get to knocking niggas off.
It's funny that you said that about the prodigal son and then being the black sheep. I think that might be why he was the black sheep, because if he's the prodigal son to his father, then you're now outcast to the rest of the family. If there's they see you a certain way as far as like how he treats us. This is how it is that we. And now if
A little bit
you see that that he's now treating him this way or whatever, if he is the still, then yeah, you would be outcast, you would be shunned essentially.
Right.
You know what I mean? I haven't seen this movie in I don't know how long.
You gotta watch it.
Now I gotta rewatch it.
You gotta watch it.
Now I gotta rewatch.
Because what you say perfectly aligns with how the two brothers looked at him. More so, Fredo is a more extreme case, obviously, but even the way Sonny looked at him, like when his dad first went into the hospital after he got shot in the first one, and Sonny was talking to Tom and was talking to other bosses or whatever, or the other high up people about how to move, and Michael, who had got tuned up by the police or whatever, he was trying to like tell him how he would move, or or this is how he would specifically said this is how Pop would do it or something like that. And Sonny didn't even take him seriously because he's like, you good clean Marine boy, what do you know about this life essentially? And whatever, he was trying to like tell him how he would move, or or this is how he would specifically said this is how Pop would do it or something like that. And Sonny didn't even take him seriously because he's like, you good clean Marine boy, what do you know about this life essentially? And
which side note, calling him a good clean Marine boy when he had the Navy Cross is kind of crazy.
Exactly. like you a good clean Army dude, like you don't know nothing about this life. And so you look at that, how Sonny viewed him, right? Obviously Sonny respected him in a sense, but he didn't take him seriously.
Yeah.
And then for Fredo to go to the length that he did, and the moment that they had when they were talking in the house, and it was just crazy because Michael was standing up, Fredo was sitting down, so he's like towering over him in a sense. And Fredo just told him, he was like, he felt slighted, like Pop picked you over me. You're my kid brother. That's like what he said too. And it's like he don't even get that with exactly what you just said, that because Vito looked at him as you should be here.
Yep.
And I've pushed and pushed and pushed and you're not. And then, that's how they viewed him. So when he stepped in, Fredo felt some type of way.
One of my favorite things about that movie is very rarely do movies do this really good. When you have the shock factor, or like not even necessarily shock, because the situation wasn't a shock factor. It's just like when you rip comfortability away from the audience, or like what they think is going on. And so the first 10 minutes of the movie, first 10, 15, 20 minutes of the movie, they do a really good job of subtly setting up Luca Brasi as this walk 'em down type character, the hitman of the family. He can send this nigga anywhere. He'll go get the job done, whatever. The first time he sends him out in the movie, he gets offed. Mm-hmm. Shit like that, I love shit like that. Mm-hmm. Because that literally was the first thing after the wedding scene. He was like, go down there and make it seem like you're not happy with the family. Mm-hmm. Them niggas said, bro, we're not dumb. And they killed that nigga instantly. And they sent that nigga's vest back with fishes.
Yep. And like for me too, I've said this before, like my favorite thing about movies is dialogue.
Yes.
Like I love character interaction, dialogue, subtleties, and like the way people move or look, or different things like that. Like one movie that I just recently watched again, because I've seen it a bunch of times, is Heat. Heat, classic movie, but like I never get over the scene where De Niro and Pacino are talking in the diner.
At the diner?
And one of the things that makes that scene so cool is they're sitting and talking like regular dudes, but you can see like a little bit of anxiety and nervousness on De Niro's face. And he's like, as he's talking, like he's looking, but he's constantly like looking around, like trying to see if this went left right now. Could I shake here? Could I shake there? How do I, handle this, that, and third?
It goes to what he said. What I don't remember the exact saying, but you got 30 seconds to make that decision, or whatever.
And he just like he's constantly like just that, It's just so because that's normal.
Yeah.
If I was a career criminal, bank heist, and I'm sitting talking to a detective who I know is chasing me, I'm not going to be sitting there talking calm. I don't care how cold of a piece of work I
How
am.
nice I think
Because
I am.
I'm going to feel anxiety. Like that's just natural. And like he did that so perfectly to where he was like, you could see the anxiety on his face, but he was also trying to like make it seem like he wasn't fazed by him.
Yeah.
But the fact that he pulled up on him, how the fuck you know I'm here? How you know what I'm saying? Like how all these things sort of happen. But like that right there is like I love stuff like that. Yeah.
What I was gonna say was, no matter how cool, calm, and collected or ice calm somebody is, having no caution makes you stupid.
Yeah.
So you could be the coolest nigga in the room.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if you have no caution. That's not cool. You're just a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Like you're asking for it. To me, have you ever seen Heat? I just had to make sure. To me, and it might be a lot of people's favorite scene, but for different reasons. For me, the best scene or my favorite scene in the movie is when he has to make the decision he's been talking about the entire movie. And what I was just saying, you got 30 seconds to make that decision, and that's the Heat.
Yeah.
Where you walk away from everything right now?
Yeah.
Can you leave?
Yeah.
And he comes out the back door, he sees the girl, and he's literally planning to run off with her, and he finally, the only nigga that never settled down out of the whole group, finally about to settle down, and he looks at her, and he makes the fact that he made the decision, I said, oh, this nigga's tough. Because he wasn't just chatting that shit.
Yeah.
He wasn't about to go to jail. He said, fuck that, I'm gone.
Yeah.